Greetings, everyone, once again thanking you for the support you offer me by purchasing the works both from the collection Grimoire Goetia, with the sequence of the 72 names of the demons, as well as from the collection Grimorium Verum Carpe Nicrum. Let's remember that demons is the Greek name for foreign gods, so their good and evil is in those who use them, not in those who fulfill the requests of those who call them, so I repeat that there really is a lot of material, content and activities to spare for you to set up your coven, cave, sect or even a leftist religion. This is very interactive. In the first volume, Introduction, there are many options for individual development in magic, so that when you know the individual techniques for practicing magic alone, you can adapt these techniques to each daemon with which you will operate later in the other 3 volumes, High Hierarchy, Low Hierarchy and Forgotten. By the way, one thing I always forget to emphasize. In the method of reaching the Holy Guardian Angel of Abramelin, the process is through demons, not angels. For this reason alone, I hope you understand the need for human beings to develop through the fulfillment of their will, not to obey a universal order under the command of celestial beings. Alright, justice is for everyone and only those who plant tomatoes will reap tomatoes, but regardless of the universal disorganization that someone's will causes, it is in this change from commonplace that things happen, otherwise they follow the natural course of events. But in order to understand some of the many options to intervene and carry out their wills, in the Grimorium Verum Carpe Nicrum collection, in the first volume, the Introduction, just to cite examples of activities covered, has all the guidance to work with sigils, offerings and altars, oils and incense, candles, herbs, prayers, talismans and spells, magic knots, hand of glory, dolls, pacts, IMPs, crossroads, etc., in case you organize your coven, cave, sect or even a leftist religion. It is sensational content to train new neophytes to enter the group with a lot of experience. And the good thing is that when working with the other books, at least from the same collection, they will be able to expand all the techniques learned far beyond the manual, to adapt to each and every name with which they will operate, each one with activities consistent with their line of work. Action. I really appreciate all the people who choose my electronic books to either buy them or also read them borrowed, on Kindle Unlimited. I remind you that, although it seems that we authors do not gain anything from this, the more people rent to read electronic books. Understand that it is your reading that pays us. Of course, if you rent it and return it without reading the work, neither you read it, nor we, authors, earn anything, as I now offer works exclusively through KDP. It is through Amazon that you will get my works and those of many other authors who also offer you access through the same system, paying only a fixed monthly fee. In my case, several works that were previously only available in print, now converted to electronic books. Available for you to borrow these electronic books in the Kindle Unlimited model, and you can keep them in your Kindle reader until you return it with others by other authors. Thus, before buying my electronic or printed books, as well as those of other authors, you will be able to get to know the material, read it for later. If you like it, then you buy it, and the good thing is that Kindle Unlimited only has a limit to put 20 electronic books in your account, but infinite when you return one and borrow another, of course. You can exchange this for new books by paying the current monthly fee. The month is over, you pay a new month and acquire another month of term to borrow new electronic books. Remember, the monthly fee is for borrowing new electronic books. When you can take time to read an electronic book without forcing you to return them, even with the monthly fee ceasing to be in effect. But let's go. This video today is as long as the last ones I've made, but very interesting. Expanding even more the usefulness of the origins of this pathworking, and of my own book. This name was covered both in Magic with the Holy Guardian Angel of Abramelin the Magus, and in Lucifer and Hidden Demons by Theodore Rose, with due guidance in Magic Pathworking of Abramelin. Here and now I offer a new guidance for those who are experiencing difficulties that require ideas at this time, especially in the professional and economic sector, so today it continues as an exclusive expansion of the electronic or printed book on pathworking for the Abramelin pattern. both in Portuguese, Spanish and English, so now a new unique activity that is for you to enjoy even more the practical material of pathworking that you have already acquired, according to the proposal of the electronic book, here at
Chaos Magic Time.
Beforehand and for the last time, just to explain why I haven't made the videos about the Necronomicon Grimoire yet, I write another more important book, but still in progress, so I extended it once more. The theme I'm currently writing is for everyone to enjoy, including me. So it's not exclusive to people who like the Necronomicon and similar works, so I'm sorry to inform you, but I will have to postpone the Necronomicon Grimoire update plans, in any case. You can enjoy the Grimoire Necronomicon on Amazon because it is another one of the books that I also offer there, increasingly happy with the result of my exclusive dedication to this platform. One of the largest sales centers in the world, not because they acquire all companies like Meta mistakenly do and break everything that is associated with this brand, but different. Because Amazon over time has become a reliable sales platform with great prices even for all companies that work on that platform. Despite the vast and growing competition, there is only one problem that is exclusive to Brazil regarding the sale of this work, in the United States. The same book costs $17.99, which is less than 100 Brazilian reals, which you can access using the same code 85912575561 on the .com site, not the Amazon.com BR site, remembering that until now the importation of books is not charged the import tax. However, Amazon in Brazil for an abuse charges the consumer 226.96 Brazilian reals, claiming to be from a foreign supplier. Incredible as it may seem, I don't get anything if you buy it in Brazil, and if you buy it cheaper in the United States, I get the copyright. Talking to Amazon's management in Brazil is unfortunately talking to walls, with no response to date, so I can only ask you to save money by buying from the American site. Rest assured that the Necronomicon Grimoire is already sensational. But let's get to today's topic about the daemon handled in the 1.07 code. This especially is the explicit statement of what I insist on saying about demons, who are gods of other religions in the initial attribution of the Greeks. But later Romans completely corrupted the meaning of the word to them when they were used by the Hebrews in the time of Solomon in respect of the gods of other peoples who transited through Jerusalem. To the point that the Romans transformed the world of the gods into the great hypocritical popular escape for people not to take responsibility for what they do and blame the Roman demon. When it is, and always will be people responsible for what they do. But to understand what I say now, you need to remember what I wrote in Mago Pathworking de Abramelin, including to understand why religious people insist so much that people can only read their Bibles and how they manage archaeology in their patronage so that only the information that interests them is published. Or they were interested, when more and more people realized that the Roman Empire disguised as the Catholic Church is anything but followers of Jesus Christ. I mean, they were and are persecutors, but history already tells that for anyone looking for the true human history. But continuing. Today's activity is based on the roots of an ancient religion that prevails until today, as the Pathworking book guides. However, previous authors Abramelin and Theodore Rose only bring us simple activities, however important the purposes are, when we need them. In the capacities of this name in its mythology, we remember that the creation of a solution does not need to bear our name, but that it be applied so that it solves the problem we have. So this time the recommended suggestion is for the pathworking of the 1.07 code for people who are experiencing creative difficulties to look for attitudes or simple creations that can solve urgent problems that we have, mainly the economic ones in this world decadence. As the very characteristic of the name referring to the 1.07 code declares, the application of this solution is taken from the ice, which you need to make the application of the idea melt to be able to enjoy the result successfully. I know that there are always people who take advantage precisely of crises to embrace great opportunities, in some cases even quickly, mainly people who work with speculation, but here we are dealing with concrete results, not statistics.
So what's the name of this activity today?
This new activity that I will pass on to you so that we can create solutions, sculpted from the reality in which we live in our personal path today, is unprecedented in the ebook and in the book, Magic Pathworking de Abramelin Mago, which I named Defrost Solutions.
What it is, how it works.
In times of crisis, the biggest shortage we have is credit, so we inevitably reduce all our investments to what can give us the minimum resources to survive. This fire that heats up our bank accounts when defaulting is usually the circumstance that the biggest speculators create chains to bind us even more to them. When we remember that paying debts to these moneylenders while unpayable interest accumulates behind the debt enslaves us to those who lent us the resources, so we need to understand that these loan sharks were already aware that we will stop paying our commitments when we assume them. So these people do it so they can start charging us in the worst ways. Unfortunately, people's most common reaction is to panic and live to pay their debts, enslaving themselves, instead of looking for solutions to free them from debt. Let's say that these people freeze their minds of possible sources of funds so that our work only serves to transfer all our earnings to these moneylenders, so in this pathworking you will look for a new source of resources that can be applied at least in the long term, and that is self-financing. So that you can free yourself from economic debts, at least little by little, whether you have a good imagination or not. Now what counts are the solutions, and you need to work towards them. Thus, pathworking seeks to bring at least one option to reverse your catastrophic course of events. But in a constructive way, with something that you can do and use to always bring you the solution you are looking for, however time-consuming its application, when we find our possibility to bring and apply our efforts for solutions. Worries cease to be a torment and become more and more reason for us to bring about the fulfillment of our commitments.
How can pathworking bring such a positive idea in the face of deep crises?
Everything that exists around you is derived from frozen ideas that someone took from their mental freezer and applied their effort to make it a reality. Whether it's difficult or easy, what matters is the solution it will bring you. I know I sound a bit too positivist. But all the greatest inventions that brought us a reversal of a crisis were driven precisely by the crisis and our urgent need to find a solution. Even less famous people, when they allowed themselves to find the answers they were looking for, stopped being normal and became people who changed the whole reality around them. As an example, the then young, simple and poor Nikola Tesla worked for Thomas Edison, but when he saw the problem of the fixed current electrical network, he immediately thawed his idea and created alternating current. Like it or not, Nikola Tesla, if the company that financed Edison persisted with the approval of fixed current, only places close to power generators around the world would be able to benefit from electrical energy. So Tesla managed to save us from a crisis by making energy reach distant places by alternating current, despite the fact that the crisis had been built into the tyrannical society of the time. To understand how much the tyranny of freezing new ideas is implanted in our minds, to try to boycott alternating current, Edison's company electrocuted an elephant, publicly claiming that alternating current was the culprit, so all our revolutionary ideas are frozen, waiting for us to thaw them.
But what if the idea is complicated? How do I practice it?
Nothing is easy, especially transformations. If you have an immediately applicable idea, congratulations. Just apply it. However, most of our ideas are usually frozen because they are not easy, but as they said inside, when the cow twists its tail, the ox makes moo. This is the specific orientation that you were the one who froze your ideas, and nothing hotter than an urgency for solutions for you to rescue them from your memories, or even finding them frozen, complicated or ready to be elaborated. But remember, if the ideas were easy, they would be the subject of a movie and someone would already be practicing or applying them, so just worry about executing your idea, whether it's easy or not. Oh, don't blame me for the difficulties. It was your idea.
But I need a lot of things to realize my idea. How will I do without resources?
When an idea is really good, there are always people eyeing these ideas to gain something from it. Good ideas are like soccer stars. There are always people with dark circles under their eyes, in all branches, about to absorb, legally or not, good ideas. I think you can understand why many companies focused on their segments only hire people who can bring them solutions, and then fire those who bring them the most problems. So, depending on your situation and the idea that you can employ in a company related to the field of your good idea, you may have to humbly climb the levels of evolution to make your idea come true, or, if you are able to fully elaborate the realization and application of your idea, you can simply sell it.
What does the Holy Guardian Angel have to do with it?
The only limits of the Holy Guardian Angel are those that you attribute to it, so it is with him that you must check what will be done or not, because the ideas that were either frozen or hidden were in your mind. Complain to him that they haven't been seen before, damn it. So, as I'm giving you the map, it's now up to you to walk the route of your personal success to find the alternatives. Remember, I guide you to alternatives, not just treasure. Only one treasure is for amateurs, and you have a frozen island full of unfrozen treasures that you just want to thaw. That's it, folks. You can carry out this activity anywhere, as long as you have conditions for relaxation and conditions to perform it, usually the result of your development with meditation. I know that in our increasingly accelerated society in its anxiety rate, it increasingly undermines people who seek to develop mainly their own concentration, but that is precisely where there is already a field to improve, as you are the one who defines how and where you need to develop. To reach your success requires that you practice as much as you can. This video wasn't that long, but finally, anyone who can help me abroad by also acquiring the ritual booklets. They are pocket-sized notebooks with blank or lined pages related to Goetia to keep writings exclusively on magic, while at the same time, portal to pathworking on the cover itself. So they already offer resources for your activities in this pattern. Just look for Notebook and Tesla D. Murbox, these pocket books, each on the cover with the sigil of one of the 72 demons of Goetia. So thank you for your presence and I wish you a great week. Hugs, we intent.